How is it going, folks? Welcome back to Part 2 Prem. We are here to continue Season 17, which, I'll be honest, it's not really got off to the best start, but let's look at a small silver lining. Matthew Cadman is now listed as our key player. I'm not entirely sure what decides what the game thinks the key player is, but to be fair, Matthew Cadman, he might not have a great goal-scoring record for England. His goal-scoring record for us, it's not been bad lately. I say that, 2 goals in 5 to start the season isn't exactly great, nor is our league position where, after 5 games played, we're in 8th. Today we are back for a double-header, an away day as we hop north of the border and go to Scotland to take on Rangers, and after that, the small matter of Chelsea at home, a Chelsea team currently top of the Premier League. The transfer window has slammed shut. I have secured the signings of 2 further wonder kids. Before we cover those and all the results since we last here, let's run the intro. I feel like when you whisper the word Wonder Kid, any Football Manager player, instantly, you've got their attention. Let's talk about these 2 signings. 2 17-year-olds who will be joining us in January. 2 players that I decided to pick up towards the end of the transfer window. Had a little bit of money left over. Wasn't really a spot in the first team to improve. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I've signed a Uruguayan. Nicolas Pereira here. 2 caps for Uruguay. At the age of 17. I don't even care that he's inconsistent and not adaptable. Look, we've got Uruguayans. They'll help him adapt. As for the player himself, 20 determination, either-footed striker. Looks like he could be a good versatile option for the future. And, well, I like the look of him. Now, Pereira was the more affordable striking option we've signed. This guy, Vincic, slightly less so. £9 million paid, but at 17 years old, he looks like a phenomenal striker. Again, really good starting determination, really high potential ability. Our scouts currently think he's got championship quality, and I feel like he's one of those players where, when you look at him, there's not really anything he's missing. He's okay at everything. And so if he just improves uniformly over the next few years, he's going to be a great player for us. Yet to make an appearance for the Croatian national team. Last year he was out on loan. Didn't score a ton, but 9 goals in 33 isn't too bad. This year for Dynamo, struggled perhaps a little bit, but still, 5 contributions in 8 games at 17. I think that's fine. What perhaps, though, has been slightly less fine has been our start to the season. We left things last episode. We'd won the Super Cup. We'd won the Community Shield. I was feeling great. And then 1 win in the first 3 games of the league season. We drew against Tottenham, but not before we beat Brighton 2-0. Parkin and Cadman with the goals. Parkin scoring on his Premier League debut. Hasn't scored since. We're going to be patient. Like I mentioned, a draw against Tottenham was disappointing, but not as disappointing as losing at Everton. 2-0 this game finished. We had chances, created a lot, couldn't score. It's not Parkin's fault though. Didn't start him for this game. I did rotate things a teeny bit. Didn't really work out. You might have noticed with this run to start the season, I was playing the 4-2-3-1, so when we had a home game against Manchester United, I decided to be conservative. Decided to play it safe. We went to the 3 at the back system. Alanis, Cadman, Parkin was the front 3. Alanis scored, Archer assisted, but that was only a singular goal we could muster up, and unfortunately for us, as you can see here, Manchester United held firm. Only silver lining, Buyak only managed a 6.3 rating. Just as a reminder, we sold him to them for £33 million. He is no longer starting in their first team. Could be another good sale for us. We opened up our Champions League campaign up with this game against Bayern, and in this game, well, we had the fastest goal in Guernsey history. Alanis, 14 seconds in. Yeah, that was a rather quick goal, and when we scored a second goal inside the first 21 minutes, you think to yourself, well, job done. We're going to win our first game on the road in the Champions League. Always good to get that first win. Just eases the nerves a little bit. The nerves weren't eased in this game. They were applied almost immediately. The second half rumbled on, and eventually they scored an equaliser, and as they scored the equaliser, my heart sank. I'd already made a few changes to bring in fresh legs, and I had to hope that one of those was going to make a difference. In the end, it was the former Ajax youngster Huntjens with this finish. Not a bad way to announce yourself with your first goal for the club. I feel like, in terms of transfers this year, he is going to go under the radar. People aren't going to remember him as much as they're going to remember Paulie Parkin, but ultimately, having paid £78 million, in the league he's been disappointing. To score the winning goal there, though, did feel good. In our most recent league game, we took on Southampton. They were bottom of the league. I chose to rotate things, and McDonald, the right back, yeah, he was starting in this game. He scored in this game. With Monteiro not playing this game, free kick duties fell to the 17-year-old, and he scored that. That highlight was over very quickly. I celebrated for longer than that highlight lasted. It was a good goal. I'm excited for him. Can we expect a great deal from a 17-year-old? You know what, with a free kick like that, my expectations have just been raised. Of course, this season, we already know the schedule's going to be brutal. Is it just me, or does this competition screen feel really crowded? Maybe it's just me. Obviously, we've won in the Champions League, which is a great start. Our game today is against Rangers, who themselves haven't exactly had a grand start to their Champions League campaign. They lost 4-0, so they're going to want to make amends, especially at home against us. And having played them, we're also going to be doing that game against Chelsea. Chelsea, media prediction for the year of 5th. They are flying high. They are top of the league. And after a couple of disappointing seasons, they're looking a lot more competitive this season. Anyway, our first game today is an away day. We are heading to Ibrox. We're heading to Glasgow. I'll see you in a mo. I might be wrong. I think this is our first time heading somewhere on the British Isles that isn't in England today as we head to Glasgow. I will acknowledge, you might be able to hear it in my throat, I've got a bit of a sore throat today, so we've got to try and make today's away day succinct. Succinct and, well, rapid is not something I'm very good at. I like to ramble. I have found Ibrox, and is it called Ibrox or is it called the Ibrox Stadium? What is Ibrox? It almost sounds like a sponsor, but it's been called Ibrox for as long as I can remember. So that's definitely not what it is. First things first, solid car parking. Look at it. Look at it. Drink it in. Enjoy it. Oh, although I will say, you're not fitting a car there, are you? Actually, I think this might be is this a bridge or is this a road? Because you're not fitting a car there if that's not a bridge. But I'm not an expert. Car is not fitted in that parking space, is it? That's downgraded the car park slightly. During all the away days, I've seen great solutions where, you know, you rotate parking spots, you do some crazy things. No, in Scotland, they just cut off the parking. I didn't even realise there's more car parking around here. Oh, they're forgiven. I'll forgive you, people of Glasgow. It's not exactly the greenest surrounding to a football stadium, but you know what? I'm not going to judge it for that. I'm going to judge it for how it looks on Street View, and my, oh my, oh my. It just screams classic football ground, doesn't it? You don't get brickwork like this in a stadium built in 2023, put it that way. It's just quite pretty, isn't it? You know, pretty and Glasgow. Not necessarily two things I would associate with one another ordinarily. It's a strong start. I say this, Glasgow might be lovely, but when I went to Glasgow on holiday, it rained for the whole weekend, so I'm still holding a grudge. I'm sorry. Look at this, you got your fancy gates into the stadium. I'm not sure if the team bus is going to fit in that gap, mind you, or through the gate for that matter. I assume they don't actually use this gate for anything, but I could be wrong. I think it's just there for looks. It's definitely got that kind of old school football ground feel, you know, one that's been built up over time, has existed for a long, long period. And whilst, you know what, it might be a bit industrial, a little bit not sexy, in a weird way, I find that sexy. It's so unsexy, it's sexy. I'll say now, not a big fan of this stand, if I'm being honest. I don't like it. It looks like it's been built in Minecraft with all the square edges. They get points, though, Rangers, for not referring to their shop as a mega store or a superstar. They've just called it the Rangers store. That's one of my pet peeves. It doesn't need to be a mega store or superstore. It's just your club shop. If I'm going to be hypercritical, I do feel like they've copied and pasted bits of the stadium. But what is this is pretty. What is going on here? They've got another gate. This one's not as big as the other one. Things we've learned about Ibrox so far. They love gates. They're not going to boast about their club shop, and they think they're playing Minecraft. What is there on the inside of the stadium? Okay, there's not a load of dots. Rangers fans, you're letting me down here. We'll go to this one first. How does the stadium look? And I mean, it looks a lot bigger on the inside. It's like a TARDIS, is Ibrox. I've heard that said before. It's a very, very cool stadium. Like I said, I appreciate stadiums like this that do feel like they've got a bit of character. They don't feel like they're just a copy and paste template from somewhere else. And Fantastic screen positions. It has to be said, there's nothing worse than a football stadium where you can't see your screens. Also, Europa League, get that updated. This is Champions League football tonight, boys. I'm a little bit concerned there's not a load of options here for views. See, this is what Glasgow looked like when I visited. It was miserable. Looks significantly more depressing now, doesn't it, as a stadium? I'm running out of dots here. This one might be the last one we can visit. Where am I? Am I in a rave? I feel drunk. I think that's because the camera's on a tilt. Why are we here? I'd like to make an appeal to any Rangers fans. Can you please start taking some pictures from the seat so I can see the stadium on a match day? Thank you. Today's away day is one of those ones where I love the stadium, solid car park, but lack of footage lets it down. The weather from when I went to Glasgow lets down the city as a whole. They should have made it sunnier just for me. I'm going to go with a 6.75 out of 10. It's a cool stadium. I love the look of it on the inside. Just wish I could have seen a little bit more of it and maybe wish there was a bit more going on outside the ground. But good gates. Appreciate the fact the club shop is just called a store. Didn't have to mislabel it. No false advertising. I appreciate that. Now, one thing that could have contributed to our mixed form as of late is the fact that we are currently without Lemos. Now, of course, Lemos is one of our more important players. I want to use that as an excuse. He's only been injured a week, but he is out for the next 2 to 4 weeks. So if we continue to have bad form, it's because he's injured. He's not available for today's game. Elsewhere, Jamfi has had a few issues with injuries this season so far. Of course, he is a player who is, well, injury prone, but it's never really reared its head that much. But this year, it's been a bit of a struggle. As a result, Dahar has been playing a lot for us, of course, signed the 19-year-old for £55 million. I want to judge his average ratings, but to be honest, everyone's been so bad this year, I'm not willing to throw anyone under the bus. Now, in terms of team selection for this game, this is the lineup we're going with. With Lemos out, Cadman is going to move to shadow striker. Marco is then going to move out and play on that left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot as an inside forward. Elsewhere, Parkin is going to start up top with Alanis on the right-hand side. So far, Alanis has got most of his goals when he has played in the striking position, but he has been able to turn some good performances in the wide areas. It's something I'm willing to still kind of experiment with. On top of that, Alanis is still a little unhappy about the contract situation, but you signed a contract for another 3 years with an optional 3-year extension. As soon as I can trigger that, I will be triggering it. I did rest up the team a little bit going into this game against Southampton, so with that in mind, we should be in a position to take command of this game. A win here would make it 2 in a row in the Champions League to start our retention. I'm hoping Parkin's going to turn up today. That is an internal monologue I've been saying every single game. Maybe today's the day he turns into a breakout star. He's not scored in his last 4 games, so I'm certainly hoping it's going to be the case. Okay, there's a kickoff highlight. Nobody liked that. Or maybe I liked it if we score it. Of course, we scored after 15 seconds against Bayer Leverkusen. Not sure we can expect a goal that fast here. Although, if we concede early on, am I going to sit and regret the 4-2-3-1? Good news, the flag's up. Relax. The ball was in the back of the net, though. Rangers with the ball. Rios leaps like a salmon, wins the header. Alanis down the line to Cadman. Parkins in the middle, goes down in a heap. Get out the screen. Get out the VAR. Give him a red card or a yellow card or something. But give me the penalty. That's what we really care about here. 3 minutes in. Referee is going to consult VAR. We could be off to the dream start here. The penalty's been awarded. It is going to be Alanis over it. Has he found the lost city? Is he going to score this penalty? He's Panenka'd it. He's Panenka'd it down the middle. He's dinked it. He's actually... I don't remember the last time I saw a player Panenka a penalty in football match. It's happened there. That is ridiculous. I'm trying not to get too excited at 1-0 up because I don't want to strain my voice. Can you hear my voice is a bit scratchy? I feel like the microphone makes it sound fine. I am feeling under the weather. I'm conscious of the fact that we've got Chelsea straight after this, so I need to save some reserves. You know, I've got to manage my conditioning. I've passed a fitness test, but they've told me 75 minutes today. Feel like the players have got the memo. They don't want me talking much here. Half an hour in, after scoring the penalty, nothing has happened until now. Corner, back post, Coppo, 2-0, second goal of the season. I feel like Coppo and Rios don't really get the respect that they deserve, particularly Coppo. Of course, Rios went on that crazy spree when we first signed him of scoring a load of headers. Those headed goals have slowed down quite a lot since that first breakout season. But Copo, by comparison, he just lives in Rios' shadows. But he definitely contributes. He's contributed there. Now, having bigged up our defence, we're going to need someone else to come to the rescue. Wilford, fantastic save round the post. We do still have a corner to deal with here. Rangers with plenty of players in the box. Can we get this away from danger? We can. Kind of. Sabanda, still in a dangerous area. Wilford's going to collect. Ball into the box. Well, if you're a Rangers fan, it was disappointing. For me, what I wanted to see. Half-time in this game here, 2-0 to the good. We've not been emphatic in this game. In fact, the chances have been pretty even. But having got that early penalty, we got our noses in front. From there, it's not exactly been convincing to the point where I'm wondering if I should go to the 3-at-the-back system. Am I being too conservative doing this? Maybe, but I think there's a point at which you kind of just want to be safe with things. We're going to play Alanis and Parkin up front with Cadman in behind. Huntians, giving you an appearance today, you have been shocking. So you can go and sit on the bench and think about what you've done. You've got a 6.5 rating, mate. It's just not good enough. There's a reason the Dutch national team have dropped you since you've signed for us, and it's because you've been poor. That did get a little bit personal there, didn't it? But yeah, apologies, Marco. Do better. This is the team we're going to go with for the second half. It's still rather strong. Of course, if we now go on to see out this game comfortably, I look like a genius. If we concede immediately, I'm going to look like a dingus. Let's hope it's not going to be the latter. As Cadman goes down in a heap, it's not given, and then Archer, well, if he finds the target there, that ball's sailing into the top corner. Unfortunately, it's gone over. Our play here, still 2-0. Not really been a classic, but you know what? Last year we had lots of classics. The year before that, we ground out results. And at this moment in time, with some patchy form, I'm quite content if we want to grind out uninspiring, not so entertaining results. In some ways, last year, you know, we were treated. We enjoyed it too much. We didn't really enjoy it enough and savour it enough. You're going to wish you had savoured it, because at the end of this season, you're going to look back on defensive master classes. I'm going to be like Jose Mourinho. No attacking, just defending vibes. Parking. Loads of players forward here. Who's in the middle? Cadman's in the middle. It's 3-0. Okay, maybe there will be attacking vibes still. I don't really do defending. Cadman, Alanis, and Parkin is just a ridiculous front three in this kind of setup. Two strikers and a shadow striker. All the players in the box queuing up. And, well, Parkin picked out Cadman. Cadman picked out the bottom corner. I think it's safe to say this game's done here. With that in mind, I'm going to rotate things around. McDonnell, come onto the pitch. Come on down. He's like a game show contestant. Diogo Perez, you can come on as well. Sula will bring you on for Cadman. I'm just bringing on all the kids at this point. Let's give them game time. Let's give them a chance to develop. 20 minutes of Champions League football is good experience for anyone. 10 minutes left of this game here. 3-0, I feel like, does flatter us. 4-0 would be ridiculously flattering. We've not been great in this game, but we've kind of just done enough to get the job done. We have superior quality. I think that is shown just with some of the finishing as much as anything else, as Sula nearly managed to get a goal, number 4 in this game. Statistically, though, in this second half, Rangers have not done a lot. First half was very, very even. We edged out XG, largely thanks to the penalty. The tactical change has definitely worked here. That there is no denying. Some good game management, looking for a fourth. We've got a fourth. Sula with it. I feel like the Turkish attacking midfielder fell out of favour a little bit last year. Maybe didn't get quite as much game time as he had done the year before. But he's a player who I'm still keen to give game time to. He's still in his early 20s. And when we give him chances, he scores goals like that. 4-0 away from home, doesn't matter who you're playing, that's a good result in the Champions League. And with 3 minutes left of added time, I thought the game was going to wrap up there. Is there still time for us to lose our clean sheet? Is that really what we're going to do now? Are we really about to just give up our defensive responsibilities right at the death? Sabanda bringing it forward, lays it forward, but De Haar is there. He's going to lay it to Wilford. I'll tell you what, the away fans behind the goal, they are having a tremendous time today. They've enjoyed what they've seen. I'll tell you what would make it more enjoying. Or more enjoyable. Words are hard. Goal number 5 would. I mean, this is a very long highlight. Something's got to happen here, right? Sula. Oh my word, he's hit the woodwork. It falls to Alanis. He scores. If Sula's effort goes in, it might have been a goal of the season contender because he's wrapped his left foot around it, tried to finesse it into the top corner like he's playing FIFA. Unfortunately, woodwork denied him. Fortunately, his Mexican amigo in Alanis is just the fastest to react by a country mile. His acceleration off the line is great. He's found it. Goal number 5. Great away result. Full time here. Nice work, everyone. That's what was needed. And now we need to rest up. Hopefully we can take a bit of momentum from this game here into the next one against Chelsea. Have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be more of a challenge. Addons with 2 goals picks up man of the match. We get £2.41 million for winning, and everyone's happy. Everything's fine. So we have got this game against Chelsea coming up. I'm going to rest the players for it. Perhaps worth just acknowledging, no one in the Premier League has won all 5 of their first 5 games to start the season. There are a handful of teams still unbeaten, one of which is Chelsea. Going to hope we can dish out their first defeat of the season in a moment. But yeah, this is another season where, whilst we've not had a good start, we're not actually a million miles away from anyone. If we were to lose this game against Chelsea, that would be bad. They'd be 8 points ahead of us. If we win this game here, we move within 2 points of them, and the furthest we could be behind anyone in the league after the match day would be 3 points. And that would be relying on all these teams on 11 points to win. So, yeah, it's a bad start to the season on the face of it, but a win here, and suddenly I relax. Suddenly things don't seem that bad. Chelsea's coming up in 4 days' time. I'm going to rest up the players. Don't go anywhere. This game against Chelsea really does feel significant. A defeat here, and we're 8 points behind the team top of the league after 6 games of the season. That would be a disastrous by any stretch of the imagination. It would leave us chasing non-stop. A win here, though, suddenly a bad start to the season doesn't feel quite as bad. I was looking at the past meetings here against Chelsea. It's a bit of a mixed bag, all in all. When it comes to friendlies, I mean, we've played one of those. So if we ignore that game that we lost, we do have a winning record against them in competitive football. That said, last time we did play them at home, we lost 4-0. So if we could avoid that, that would be good today. Thank you, Football Manager gods, if you're listening. For this match, though, we are going to be playing the 3 at the back system. I need to play more conservative. I feel like we have to build a solid foundation. It's a formation that has served us kind of well already this year with the win against Manchester United and, as we saw previously, seeing out the last game. And if I'm guilty of anything to start the season, it is perhaps just playing the 4-2-3-1, thinking that we are better than we already are in a bizarre way. I look at the game against Tottenham as the kind of match where we played the 4-2-3-1 where I wouldn't have played it last year, and I feel like this season it did cost us. When it comes to team selection, we are at full strength here, with the exception of Lemos, who is out. It means that Cadman, Parkin, and Alanis is going to be the front 3. On the bench, we've got a whole lot of options. The likes of Cadman, the likes of Marco Huntjens, we can bring on to really change a game if we need to. That said, what I'd really love here is the kind of game where I don't need to change the system, where I don't need to panic, where we just get a nice, comfortable, relaxing result. Somehow I don't think that's going to be what happens today. I have just spotted here, Chergui. Remember Chergui? A couple of seasons ago we were looking to sign him. He moved to Chelsea. Last year wasn't amazing when he joined them in January. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in 5 league games this season. Keep an eye out for him at centre attacking mid. Mission today might be to keep him quiet. If he plays well, the comments telling me that I should have signed him are going to be relentless. Corner for Chelsea. Normally we're the team doing damage from corners, and for a moment I thought they were going to do some damage. It's gone over. Not a great start to this game from our point of view, them getting the first highlight. Possession is slightly in our favour. Neither team's had a shot on target after 20 minutes. Chelsea with a free kick in their own half, looking to build the ball out from the back. Correa, their right wing back, cutting inside. So much space in the middle there for him to make a move inside. Fortunately for us, we have managed to get the ball back here. Sweeney with it, giving it back to Wilford. Of course, the 2 English internationals linking up. Rios to Grassa. Can he turn and get the ball forward? He can. He spreads it wide to Archer. Really nice build-up play there. Archer back to Sweeney. Sweeney to Monteiro. Lovely build-up play. Defence splitting pass to Alanis is superb. And can Alanis finish it? I'll tell you what, it was destined for the back of the net. The defenders got back there superbly. Give Monteiro some credit for the ball forward there. That was a crazy pass to Alanis. The finish... I mean, the finish was... I want to say the finish was fine. It allowed the defenders to get back. It was a great way to beat the goalkeeper. Just couldn't beat the whole defence. 10 minutes left of this half. We have pressed a bit of an advantage as the half's gone on. We are now at 62% possession. Perhaps a bit of momentum swinging our way. Still only 1 shot on target for us, though. The only shot on target of the game. But perhaps an opportunity here to double that tally. Alanis is through. Alanis scores. And if he was at fault for missing that first one, he's put that to bed there. Gianfi back in the team, back from injury, back with an assist. And it's a lovely bit of build-up play on this near side. Intricate passing. Tell you what, when Gianfi played it forward here to Alanis, still a lot for the player to do. Gianfi baited in the defender to press. created that space in behind, and Alanis, superb little finish there. There is, however, a kickoff highlight right away, which, I mean, if they reply immediately, suddenly any momentum we were building up, it's gone. If we get a second goal now, puts us in a great position and makes the halftime team talk that little bit easier. Unfortunately for us, it's Chelsea bringing the ball forward. Tevfik playing it forward to Rem. Players in the middle, it's not dealt with well, and Mohamed Chergui has broken Guernsey hearts about 30 seconds after we've scored. Last summer, a year ago, I had the option to sign Chergui. I turned it down to sign Monteiro instead. I mean, is this a great finish? Is it shocking defending? I'll let you guys be the judge. Free kick in a dangerous area here. Chelsea with it in our half. Plenty of men forward. Mejier is one of them, and I mean, he scored. Which defender did he just turn inside out there? I'm praying he's offside, but I don't think he is offside. I think Chelsea have turned this game around from absolutely nowhere. The goal is going to count. Who is this man? Name and shame them. It's Alanis. Okay, never mind. Not his fault. That was a weird goal to concede, mind you. Oh, it was going so well. 1-0 up. 5 minutes left of the half, and suddenly, Chelsea, first 2 shots on target, first 2 goals. I'm throwing a water bottle. I don't care if people are sad. Sometimes you got to make them sad, to make them mad, to make them play less bad. That said, I am just going to talk to them all, because lack self-belief and anxious. Can't have that. You weren't bad, but I have faith in you. Look at that. Now I've inspired them all now. I am a great leader. Not making any subs at halftime. I don't want to change anything too rashly. Obviously, they've scored from 2 golden chances they've created, but truth be told, they weren't creating a lot in the game till that moment. I'm going to hope that the water bottle throwing has the desired effect. And well, if we could respond early on in this half, it'd be nice. Jamfi, already 1 assist to his name, the left back bringing it forward. Lays it back to Rios. Plenty of players committed to the attack here. Rios on a bit of a wander. Jamfi crosses it. Parkin's header goes just wide of the post. Going to make a change here, I think. The change I'm going to make, it might be a weird one. I'm going to stick with Alanis and Cadman up top. I'm going to bring in Marco to play as a shadow striker in behind. Gratta's not had a great game today. I'm going to bring in Bellingham, and I'm actually going to play Bellingham as a Segundo Volante on attack. I want him getting forward a little bit more from that midfield area. Manny Wilford and Rios aren't playing well, but I feel like they're the kind of players you just have to keep on in a game like this. Changes made in the midfield. Jude Bellingham coming on with his experience. We need him to turn up here. Marco, do not get sent off. Do not do anything silly. Marco dinks it. Alanis, the subs. Well, I was about to say maybe going to have an immediate impact. Unfortunately, Alanis has missed a one-on-one there. Fortunately, we have got another set piece. Coppo was under it. Segura collects. It is all action. I don't know if you can tell. There's not a lot of time to catch my breath here. 15 minutes into this second half, you'd be, a brave man, I think, to bet on there not being a goal in this game. Sweeney, wake up, son. He's just dilly-dallying on the ball. He's giving it away. Fortunately, Wilford's made a save. 25 minutes left. I'm getting shouty. If in doubt, demand more. They've not created a lot in this game, Chelsea. We've been on top, but we need to take a chance, and maybe I was going to say there could be a chance here. Coppo, far post, thought he was about to get 2 goals in 2 games. Sadly, his header is off target. Cadman really has struggled in this game here. We're going to bring in Chapman, I think, for him. Elsewhere, Bellingham's not really had the desired impact in this game. Archer at right wing back is struggling. You know what? McDonnell, come and make a name for yourself, mate. Come into the first team. Make your, 4th Premier League appearance of the season. Look how much he's been improving, by the way. Show me what you're made of. Suppose with 15 minutes left here, we've got to change things up slightly. I'm going to get more direct with the play. Get rid of work the ball into the box. I want us just to try and get the ball forward with a teeny bit more urgency. Try and create a little bit more going into that final third. Chelsea, though, plenty of attacking talent on display. Would not bet against them not to get another goal against us here as we kind of try and push them onto the back foot. Clamping forward, inside Chergui. It's 3-1. It's not a good start to the season now, officially. I've decided. I know the comments. I can see that it's McDonald's header as well. Oh, it's just a great big shame, isn't it? It's just a great big shame. I feel like I've got to radically change things here, right? Huntyans and Chapman, you're going to go to inside forwards. I don't know what I'm doing here at this point. I'm going to draw a pattern and see what I like the look of. Is this like the first time I'm having a breakdown for a while in this series? Potentially, but you know what? Sometimes you've got to have a tactical breakdown in Football Manager, you know, where you just change everything. Monteiro, Bellingham, Huntjens, Chapman. I mean, that's a very scary attack. Whether or not we're going to be able to do any defending now, I suppose, remains to be seen. In transition, over the top, distribute it quickly, take it long. In fact, you know what? Target man it. Get it to the target man. Alanis, you are now the target man. I've not used a target man since we're in the National League. Bring it back. Hit early crosses. Focus it through the middle. Let's play super narrow. Let's just try and crowd out things. I need 2 goals in 14 minutes. This is a monstrosity, isn't it? Sometimes in Football Manager, you just got to make a radical change and see if it sticks. And about 1 in 20 times it sticks. The rest of the times, it doesn't work. But you know what? We got nothing to lose here. We might as well take a gamble. Alanis, need some magic from you here. He's had chances in this game. He's not really taken them. Is it a bizarre statement here for me to say that 3-1 flatters Chelsea? Because it's the statement I'm going to make as McDonald gives away the ball again. McDonald, don't do it, mate. What are you doing? Get off your bum, son. Clampin's playing it forward. Chergui, don't do it again. Don't hurt me more, please. Thank you. Wilford saves. 4 minutes plus any added time. Hope is fading, I think is what I'd say. If I was more of a lyrical genius, I suppose, you know, the candle of hope is being extinguished. I'm not sure it was ever lit in this game. It's 3-1. A chance to make it 3-2 here. Coppo's hit the crossbar, but knowing how little time's left, well, it was all for naught anyway, wasn't it? It finishes here 3-1 to Chelsea. I hope you're happy, Chelsea. You're ruining my title retention. Anu Jamfi's picked up best performer. I'm going to point at the XG story and say, we were robbed. Good English. We'll chalk it down to a bad day at the office. I mean, at least we have the win against Rangers to have enjoyed. As for the Premier League this year, I don't want to win it back-to-back years anyway. We're 8 points behind Chelsea after 6 games. It's not ideal. The defence I'm going to use is the fact we've already played Chelsea, Tottenham and Manchester United this season. So actually, it's not been that bad of a start. Then I remember all 3 of those games were at home. And they're the kind of games you need to win if you want to win the title. I don't want to say it prematurely. Title defence hopes looking a little bit ropey here for what it's worth. I have also just spotted here that for whatever reason, we're playing our second game of the Champions League before anyone else. It also looks like Celtic are playing a game earlier. Are all the teams in Scotland playing their games early and I've been roped into this mess? Oh well, doesn't matter. We're top of the league somewhere. Disappointed doesn't really cut how I'm feeling right now. That is an absolutely disastrous result. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to go and have a lay down and have a cry. I'm going to rest at my throat. I'm going to get some Lemsip. I'm going to go get some Lemsip in me. Hopefully I'm feeling better tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm going to just cry in bed and not record a video out of protest. Maybe see you tomorrow. I don't know. I just feel sad. Anyway, take care. Have a lovely rest of your day. I hope your day's gone better than mine has. Mine's been a bloody disaster. Doesn't even feel like I won the first game now.